We are live. We are a couple of minutes early, but we're also nearly an hour later than usual. So, hello anyway. There are some people in the chat already. I'm going to do some very quick hellos, but tonight's Master Reseller, as well as being the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, is also already half dead under there. So we're going to try and get through this quite quickly. Good evening to Craig the Monocle, Welsh Wonder Neil, Laurel, Deb Hughes, Joe Morris, Alison Jones, Lisa Heidinger, Nia again, she's been out and come back in, Kay Gilson, Granny Kate, Mr. Blobby, Savvy Mum UK, who says, is it Lex? It's always Lex. Lainey, Carol, Applecall Productions, Rebecca Harris, Rebecca Turner. Did I say Carol? I'll say Carol again, just in case we missed her. Daryl, Niall, Laura, Donna, Catherine, Chris Tyler. I think I've got Fat Girl Son. I think I've got everybody. I'm trying to do this really quickly because I really don't want my guest to actually keel over. Cheryl Cunningham and Helen Jones. Good evening, everybody. I hope you are well. Oh, and Sue Bad Wilson says, how will Carla stay up till 9 p.m? Do not extract the urine, Susan. That's not nice. I'm quite often stay up as late as 9:15 some nights. So you will notice we've got some additional spanners in the... Oh, excuse my phone. I've added some extra spanners because last Sunday we had excessive trolling, so we've got a few more spanners now. So you may have discovered that you've got a spanner where you didn't expect one. Wield it with pride and judgment, people. Mandy's in, Lee's in there, Michaela Smith, Sandy Beach, Mike Dando. Donna says, I think I know who it is. My God, that's quick. Dorothy Clark, Joan, and anyone I've missed, good evening and welcome to you. Hit me with some questions for tonight's Master Reseller, and let's see if we can guess who's in there. Hi, Bronwyn. Lainey's first question is it Jeff Goldblum changing into the Fly? just kind of mid transmogrification. Is that a word? Transmogrification. Okay. Intelligent Zombies in, Laurel D's there, Claire Borden. Donna says, are you male? I don't know if you did your yes and no's, but thumbs up or thumbs down will work just as well. So are you male? Yes, this is a bloke apparently in there. There we go. A hot bloke in every possible way, obviously. Yeah, so the first three questions were all, is it a man? Are you a lady, boy or girl? So I think we've answered that one. This is a fella. Chris B says, is it Zorro? Karen says she knows who it is. And Applecore Productions says, is he from the Midlands? Are you from the Midlands? That answers Chris's question, which was, is this a non-UK reseller? Joan says, are you bald? Not bald, okay. Unless it all comes off when the mask comes off. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Jem. Savvy Mum says, are you ginger? No, not ginger. Lisa says, is it Aid? I'm pretty sure it was Aid last time. I don't think I can get away with having Aid on every week. I think people are start to notice. Nia says, are you blonde? Daryl says, I know who it is, but I'm keeping quiet. And Tracy's Den said, the mask is see-through, but I still don't know who. Okay. Joan says, are you married? Oh, it's scrolled off a bit. You are married. Okay. Intelligent Zombie says, do you wear glasses? And Mandy says, you are wearing glasses. I can see through the mesh. Joan says, do you have kids? Yeah. Joe Morris says, does his name rhyme with Spade? I promise you, it's not Aid every week. Savvy Mum says, is he a picker? As in noses or the skin between his toes? Or he is a picker. He is a picker. And Nia was also coming in with, do you like picking? It's gone off in my hand. Where are we? It goes off in my hand regularly. Karen says, did you get stuck in a small space? Catherine McConnell says, have you any children? Applecore says, does he chase a mouse called Jerry? I think we're getting there, aren't we? Joe says, does your name start with N? So I don't know where she was going with that. Mandy says, do you like your porch? Deb says, do you collect hats? And Savvy Mum is in there with the first guess of, is it Tom the English picker? It is. Come on out, Tom, and I'll unmute you. That was a very rapid unmasking, but it was a question of can we keep the Master Reseller alive long enough to get through the questions. Lainey was going to ask if you like wood.
Oh.
And there we go. So what we learned from this, people, is fencing masks. They're hot.
Yeah. Don't.
Is that your own fencing mask that you use for private personal fencing, or?
Yeah, I don't know where my rubber gimp mask has gone. I'm not too sure. I think it. I don't know. It must be in the dishwasher.
Did you lend it to Darren and Pam when they opened up their basement thing?
That's where it is. That'll
be where it is. Yeah. Yeah. You probably don't want it back, to be honest.
No.
Sue was going to come in with have you got the most beautiful boy in the world, so she knew who you were. It is Tom the English Pipper. Tom the English Pipper. Tom the English Picker. Nice mug. And I'm sure all of you know who he is, but in case you don't, this is Tom, and he's going to give you a very quick bio about himself. Go on, Tom. Sum you up.
Sometime part-time YouTuber, sort of sometime reseller. Been doing it for about 8 years full-time, part-time for about 10. Yeah, just love buying stuff and not selling it. So
buying stuff and keeping stuff. That's Tom's niche. That's your niche policy, isn't it? Buy it and keep it.
Yeah.
And I think the original plan is buy it and keep it until the price rises, isn't it? That's kind of the idea.
Yeah. Or buy it and be too fundamentally lazy to list it all. So that's the other one as well, which I think a lot of people experience. But yeah, I buy and sell all sorts really. So including fencing masks, which there is zero market for at the moment. So this is rocking on.
You would have thought that's a fairly socially distant sport, fencing. I mean, you're not supposed to get within 4 meters.
That's true, I suppose. So yeah, but nobody's buying it at present. So
does it does it got a good resale value? I've never ever seen a fencing mask and picked one up. So
I bought it like 4 years ago, and it sat in a storage unit, and I listed it sort of January time, and yeah, it's not going anywhere.
For all those people who were taking up fencing as a hobby for their New Year's resolution.
Yeah. So I think I paid £1 or £2 for it, if that. So yeah, house clearance person. So yeah, that's the only mask I could find anyway that actually fitted on my giant head.
It's all the brain. That's what does it. Yeah. Savvy Mum UK says, my daughter Amy Olivia is watching. To bribe her to leave the room, can you guys please say hi to her? She promises to leave me alone if you do. Hi, Amy Olivia. Leave Mummy alone. How old is Amy Olivia? I bet she's like 23 or something, like Natalie. And there's me going, hello, little one, be good. And she's like, do you want to do one, mate? I'm quite old. So you've got, as Sue said, the most gorgeous boy in the world.
Yes.
And how old is he now? Because the time seems to have just shot off somehow.
He is 17 months.
So you had him yesterday. I don't understand how that's happened.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's gone. But I'm starting to realise that reselling small, tiny little things with a little person in the same house isn't necessarily a great combination. So I'm currently in that, oh crap, I need to hide stuff away so it can't be eaten mode. So yeah.
Unless you just get one of those kind of airport scanners on your front door, so that every time he goes out to nurse or whatever, you can just, it'll go off if he's full of diamonds on the way through or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm rapidly suddenly realizing that, oh god, there's tape everywhere and tape dispensers and oh god.
And they move. That's the thing. Children, you have them, and for a long time they don't go anywhere, and you think that's fine. And then suddenly they go, oh, I know how to move, and they bugger off.
Oh, I thought you meant tape dispensers move, because I was going to say I always lose my tape gun.
Let me know if you need one. I found another one today that I didn't know I had. I've got 3 now. But no, children in particular, you spend the first year of their lives wishing they would learn to walk and learn to talk, and the next 20 years wishing they would sit down and shut the fuck up. Literally. So I wish I'd never taught you this. You were better when you were silent and didn't move, Not silent exactly, but
it's past the day of just plonking them in like what they call like a rubber ring, inflatable ring thing, and he just sits there. Looks like a sort of slightly inflated Michelin man. So just watching you, but no. Because I used to be able to sit and list on my laptop, and he'd just sit there playing with these toys, and I was like, great, get some listing done. Now when it's my day to look after him, no listing on those days, definitely not. Yeah,
I think Steve found that. He was obviously he gave up his job went full time, and he was firing on really, really well until lockdown happened and the kids stopped going to school, and then he was like, how the come on, I'm going to get anything done, Karen's come in with a nice piece of advice. She says, don't wear a fencing mask to rob a bank.
Yeah, I didn't actually realise how see-through it was, but yeah, when I put it on, you can actually see my glasses through it. So.
They did guess you quick. They did. Well, like I said, just as well, because it meant you didn't actually, pass out in there.
Yeah.
Fandrin says, can you tell my husband Darren to leave me alone in the kitchen, please? Leave her alone in the kitchen, Darren. Do you not want any dinner? I don't know whether she's cooking any dinner. She might be doing something else in the kitchen. Dorothy Clark says, do you both specialise in any particular range of items, or would you like to? Do you consider yourself a specialist, Tom?
I used to be. Not so much anymore. I used to specialise in like precious metals and coins and stuff like that, but then I just never found them at the car boots and stuff. And I blame Nick Hills again for
we all blame Nick Hills,
polluting my mind with possibilities. So I knew I was always into gaming and stuff, so I'd see it at the car boot. But I remember the times when I used to go to the car boot and come back, and the wife would go, "Oh, have you bought anything?" "Oh no, not bought anything today." And like now, that just seems utter madness.
She's stopped asking, hasn't she?
Yeah, now it's like, what didn't you buy?
Yeah. So you do a lot of media, don't you? And you do a lot of
media.
What I would consider bulk media.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, a lot of media. And I've still, dipped my toes in the coins and jewelry and stuff. Just a bit of everything. I'm getting more and more into sort of bulk and selling off to other sellers. Mainly because during lockdown, I was driven to the point of insanity with people who'd never actually bought anything off eBay before, all of a sudden buying stuff off eBay and Amazon, and then having zero clue on sort of how
it works. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I was thinking, if I sell to other resellers, I'm going to get less stress from idiots who've had something for 12 weeks and now want to return it. So
yeah, because you've been, would it be fair to say, predominantly Amazon for several years?
Yeah. Up until the start of lockdown, I was 90% Amazon FBA, which is where they have it.
And in a big way as well, like
yeah. I've got about 5,500 to 6,000 items with them, and then I've got about 2,500 items myself, and then I've got a couple of hundred on eBay. But then when lockdown started, they froze all of Amazon FBA to only essential goods. So it was like food and gloves and stuff like that. They weren't receiving any shipments in. So instantly, overnight, my business stopped completely.
Yeah.
And like, if you placed an order for media with Amazon FBA, it'd be like 4 weeks before you got it, or something absurd, or even at all. So in a matter of like a week, I had to suddenly just change everything, and I went from like 200 listings on eBay to over 1,000 in a week, in 11 days. It was just
come here with your overachieving. You won't blend in on my channel with that kind of talk.
But then I burnt myself out and listed nothing since.
Yeah.
It was over about a month, to be honest. Yeah. But the bulk was that. So because it was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to get a job here if I'm not careful. So it just shows how easily, it can just change when
I suppose it's that eggs in one basket thing, isn't it? And the thing with Amazon is that they are so omnipotent. They've got so much control that to suddenly realize that they can literally take it away from you just like that, it must be quite scary.
Yeah, definitely. And especially as well when they've got your stuff as well. That makes it, because I couldn't even get it back.
So you can't even sell it to some other bugger. Yeah, I'm literally
I was damned if I do and damned if I don't. So it was rather. I wasn't actually too stressed about it because I could see it coming, and So actually, in the long run, it's been of benefit because then I've been looking at how other people do it, because I started off on eBay and used to do loads on eBay, and then discovered Amazon FBA, and then went nuts with that. So I've kind of relearned how to do eBay in a way, because I'd kind of forgotten, to be honest.
Yeah. And you've recently rejigged your storage plans, haven't you? Because, when I first got to know you, I think you had several different lumps of storage in several different places, and you've sort of consolidated that now.
I'm consolidating at the moment, because at one point I've got 7 different storage places, or 8 including my garage. So
and that was all unlisted.
No,
I'm just thinking if I had 7 storage places, I would never know where anything was. So
Yeah.
did you kind of system whereas all of this is in this place, or?
Well, some was in some. Yeah, you see, it was a nightmare. I had unlisted stock next to boxes of listed stock. It was just absurd. And this is why Amazon FBA was good for me, because they got it. I didn't have to spend 3 hours looking for something that I'd sold. So yeah, but I did the stuff that I had got was. I didn't have a good system, but now I've got a much better system with like box numbers, and because before I was doing it all by memory, which when you've got a couple of 100 items, you can just about get away with. But once you start getting more and more,
Yeah, Kelly said the same thing on Seller Ladies the other day, that naively, when she first started, she was like, I just remember where I put it. I'll remember that's in that box with those things, and yeah. And then you realise the human brain doesn't do that.
I went purely from to like an Amazon-based system, because I know lots of people are like, oh, this is my shoe box, or this is all gents polo shirts or whatever, and because I found all different stuff, and also if I was doing media, I wouldn't just have 4 boxes. This is DVDs or whatnot, because then it could be in it. So I did like box 1, box 2, box 3, and then in the iNotes on my phone, I'd have a list of what's in each box. So then it's just like an Excel spreadsheet, basically. So then you can search and it tells you which box it's in. As long as you spell it correctly, which is the only flaw in it. The other problem is if you're getting stuff out of 2 different boxes and you accidentally put one thing back in the wrong box, then it goes tits up. So
what happens if you lose your phone?
Well, it's in the cloud. So
see, I don't really understand clouds.
Yeah,
bit of a mystery to me, all of that.
But I started off literally on the front of the box was a piece of paper and was written what was in it. So I just had to look through the piece of paper and it said what was on it.
Which is fine until you've got 4,000 boxes.
Yeah. So so yeah, but yeah, I am now consolidating. So I'll only have 2. I'll have one which is 24-hour access, and then another one which is like 8 till 6. So and it's like I'll be doing a video series about it, but it's like in a warehouse that's like a distribution company. So they've got like really good CCTV alarm system, all that. It's quite good. So that'll be one space for everything. And my plan is to put all my unlisted stock there, and then gradually work through that to turn it into listed stock, and then have it in the same place. Or I'll just put it in there, forget about it, and then go wild and buy loads more. So one or the other.
Sarah Wardle would like to ask both of us, how do you stay motivated on days, weeks, months when nothing seems to sell no matter what you do? Tom?
Well, I used to do the Lex approach, which was buy more, but I've stopped myself doing that. For the last year, I've not been to car boots, which has been difficult, really difficult. But the last one I went to was
the good bit. That's the good bit.
I know. But I was at the point where I was like, okay, I could go to the car boot, but I need somewhere else to store it. So, so there's that, and then also like now, what I do is I'll watch videos of other sellers and see what they're doing and how they're doing. That helps motivate me, because you kind of get a kick off someone else's haul, if that makes sense.
Yeah. For me, what motivates me when nothing is selling is sheer panic. So I can actually sit and coast and not do any listing for days, and then the sales drop, and I'm like, oh God, I got to do some work, otherwise I'm going to starve. Plainly, not for a while. But yeah, sheer panic. When it stops selling, that's what panics me into actually doing some work. So in a way, one of the most motivational tools that is out there to make me work is when it all goes tits up. Yeah. But it's not the ideal. It's not.
Yeah, I'm the same in a way. I only get stuff done when there's a deadline.
Yeah.
Like I've given notice on my storage units, the ones that I'm getting rid of, and now I'm like, oh God, why did I do that? I've got to rush my arse off to get it all.
You got to move stuff now.
Yeah, and typical, there's pissing it down outside. So I'm now.
I think it's just as well you did though, because knowing you as I do, I think if you hadn't given notice, what you would have ended up with was an additional storage unit. instead of just a yeah.
What happened before? Every single one was, oh, I'll just get this for now. And it's funny, I watch programs about they call them like serial storers. That a lot of the storage facilities rely on them. That they get one, then they get another, and often it's collectors that can't have the collections at home because their better half says no, so it's in storage, and then out of sight, out of mind, and then just buy more.
Yeah.
So they rely on these sort of people. So yeah, but I was offered a deal too good to be missed. I thought, no, this is my chance to do it, because to be honest with you, the other storage units, they're just so badly not organized, but like stored badly. Don't ever buy like cheap boxes. That's my tip for everybody. Just buy decent boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing quite like a caved-in box with a load of smashed stuff. Lisa says she agrees with you about new folk using eBay, especially the folks who expect eBay to be Amazon and 3 seconds after buying it ask where it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to say, I was clearancing some stuff out, and I sold the $2.99 free post DVD, and it went out, and like an hour later, the person, hour after I posted it, the person went, "Could I get some tracking information on it, please?" It's like, it's $2.99, love. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, for starters, I'm probably not going to send it tracked, and I haven't posted it yet, and I'm not even home yet, and I've barely looked at the notification yet. And did I mention piss off? Did I get that in there anywhere?
God, I would absolutely love. You know, have you ever watched Carl Pilkington and his Bullshit Man?
I haven't.
Oh, he has like a character he talks about where it's called Bullshit Man. I may be misquoting this, but he just like this sort of fake superhero that you run up to people and point them in the face and go, bullshit. I just want to do that, but like with annoying buyers, like, you know, just run up to them and just piss off.
Yeah, I think there should be some kind of intelligence test that you have to pass before you're allowed an eBay account. You know, are you an idiot? Yes or no? Let's start there. Kelly wants to ask, how do you say that word, Tom? That word that's on the screen. One more time, nice and clearly. Necklace.
Yeah.
Just necklace.
Not necklace.
So yeah, you say necklace the way the rest of the entire English-speaking world says necklace, apart from Kelly.
Necklace is, I think it's like people around me, they call alleys jitties and everyone's called duck.
You're at me, duck. See, that's my hometown. You're at me, duck, but I don't remember my granny ever saying necklace.
You see, the other thing is I kind of stand out because I say scones, and everyone I know seems to say scones.
I say scone.
Yeah.
Josh and I were having a conversation about vase or vase the other day as well.
Oh god!
I say vase.
When pointed out, I question which one I say, and whether
you start wondering, don't you?
Well, I say both, but it's necklace definitely.
While I'm on the subject of Kelly, though, flipping fantastic finds, you guys, if any of you are not already subscribed, and I'm sure you all are, but if you're not, run over there, whack the subscribe button on Kelly's channel because she's approaching 1,000. And it would be lovely if we could get her there. So off you pop over there, come back, Tom and I will still be here.
Fantastic.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Kelly's saying something about twitchels now. What's a twitchel?
I've no clue.
She's on her own with her twitchels. That could be anything at all. Right, it's scrolled all the way down. Where are we? Yeah, Kelly's pointing out that Lex and I were yeah, Savvy Mum's got an Excel spreadsheet of what's in her box. She said she loves her a spreadsheet. Carol wants to know where you're from because she can't place the accent.
Yeah, I've got a weird sort of hybrid accent, I guess. I'm originally from Stoke-on-Trent, but like my mum was from down south, sort of Portsmouth way, and my dad was Stokey born and bred, so he had a broad accent. Well, he has a broad accent still. But my mum had like a southern accent, so kind of weird like that. And then I went to uni in Derby, and then I went to uni again in London. So I kind of got a weird, and I now live near Nottingham, so I've got a weird.
Like a Mongol, basically.
Yeah, a poshness.
Everybody in the chat is now going necklace.
Into my subconscious, definitely some of the more colloquial mannerisms, and He's kind of attractive, calling people ducky and stuff like that.
It
So
definitely reminds me of home. I'm originally from Market Harbour, and "You're out, me duck" is very much "You're out, me duck." And
yeah,
the
I do like I pick up bits of the Stoke accent. Like I'll say Luke rather than look quite often, or Book. I catch myself doing it sometimes, and it's weird. I almost have this like when lads go through puberty and their voice does that. I have this weird. So all of a sudden, I'll be almost like Cockney for a day. It's just. Yeah.
I find I've got like a chameleon accent. If I'm with northern people, I start sounding northern, and but that backfires horribly if you're in a foreign country, because you just sound like you're taking the piss. We know if I go to Turkey on holiday and they talk to me in kind of like pidgin English, and I talk back to them in pidgin English.
I know. Oh my God, it's so funny when people do that. Yeah, and speak louder in pidgin English as well.
Yeah, and shout, because everybody knows if they can understand you better if you're yelling. Apple Core Production wants to know the big one. Is it a cob, a roll, or a barm cake?
Probably a roll.
It's a bread roll, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a roll. I mean, they say cob round here, and I'll say it to fit in, but it's a roll.
Yeah, it's a roll. My friend Tammy's from Leeds, and she calls it a bread cake.
Oh.
And then she moved down here, and she's been down here about 3 or 4 years now. And about 2 years ago, we were in the club, and she said to me, "Do you want a ham roll?" And I was like, "Did you hear you? Did you hear you?" And I was like, "See, you've caught the southern."
Yeah, you see, in Stoke a lot of the time they say bap as well, like a sausage bap.
So she says, "I say necklace with emphasis on the c, on the c rather. Necklace. I say necklace as if like no neck, necklace."
Yeah, it's like same here.
Yeah, Sue says, "If you oh god, I'm wrong one." Kelly's banishing you. Sue said, "If I've changed, if I'm from Market Harbour, it's a cob. Moved away when I was 4, so I didn't get to the point where I developed my own bread roll thoughts at that point. I was still being given whatever I was handed. At the age of 4, I was probably refusing a bread roll anyway and just eating the ham out the middle."
That sounds like a really weird experimental band name, the Bread Roll Thoughts.
Bread roll thoughts, yeah. Lisa Heidinger says, "Where is it that people call you chicken?" I don't know. I call everybody chicken. You're right, chicken.
Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, Sarah says you've got a Heinz 57 accent. Peter Ray's wandering. I can see people. I didn't see him come in, but I can see people saying hello. So hello, Peter. Yeah, Pete says he's got. We all have random accents. He sounds EastEnders. Get out of my pub. And Daryl says his voice still goes to that noise you just did. Right, we've got a lot of BAP discussion now in the chat.
It's often when I'm trying to say something really serious or like try and get a point across about something I've heard on the news. Not that I watch the news anymore, but and I'll make myself sound like an absolute arse by my voice just going funny, or I'll sound like the the policeman from Hello Hello.
Yeah.
I was just piecing by.
I am pissing by your door.
Yeah.
Caroline Byrne has very kindly super chatted €5, I think it is. So I don't know where you are, Caroline, but thank you very much for that. That's very generous of you. Thank you. And Apple Core Production, it's gone again. Every time it goes off in my hand, Tom, it's horrible. Used to work in a butcher's. If you asked for a roll, I would throw a chocolate roll at you. Also, dare you to ask for a sausage roll and see what you get. Yeah, apparently, Lainey was talking about flour in her baps.
Oh, gosh. Well, you bought it home. That's Tom 22 say couldn't in knots.
She's expecting you to miss out several letters. She's expecting you to lose the O, the L, the D, and the
couldn't in knots.
Couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Nobody couldn't do it.
It depends who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to someone around here, I'll because you'll say uptown.
Uptown.
Uptown is the one.
It's that long I, like I said, in the you're at middle. You're at uptown.
Uptown.
Yeah. Apparently, Craig the Monocle gets told he sounds posh all the time, but they should see him after the second bottle of wine. I've seen you after half a dozen chips, mate. You're not posh. So, has anybody got any questions for Tom? Is there anything that Tom can enlighten you upon about his career, his life choices, maybe not his politics? Got any politics, Tom?
Oh gosh, I should have brought my tinfoil hat mask. My soapbox. Don't get me started on that. We'll be here 4 hours.
If you're not subscribed to Tom's channel, by the way, you need to go there and watch the back catalogue of Dickhead of the Week, which are always fun. I honestly think my favourite Dickhead of the Week was the week that you got locked in your own porch.
Yeah. Just as a premise before that, if you're easily offended or perpetually offended, part of the perpetually offended generation, then don't.
Depends. If you're one of these people who goes around looking for something to be offended by, you'll be fine. You'll love it.
Well, that's true. You might actually agree with me, in a weird way. So maybe so.
Albacore says he's too angry for questions. I think that's still about the up and down voice thing. It might be about the bread rolls. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't go in and ask for a sausage roll, because sausage roll does sound like it was the Greg sausage roll, but probably sausage bap. Yeah.
If I was going to buy sausages in a bread roll, I would ask for a sausage bap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet, if I was just going to go and buy bread rolls, I wouldn't go in and ask for, can you sell me a bap? Yeah. It's only a bap if the sausage is there. And if it's a burger, it's a bun.
Yeah,
so it's the bread product alone that causes the issue, not the meal that you make with the bread product.
Because in Stoke they have these things called oat cakes, which aren't like the weird Scottish ones that are like hard biscuits. They're like a savoury pancake, and everyone loves for oat cakes. And that was one weird.
Revolting.
Yeah, you would think that, but when they're absolutely like caked in cheese with like cheese and bacon and stuff, they're quite nice, because they're not a sweet pancake. They're very floury, so they're really, really bad for you. But I don't know why.
Kelly wants to know, who would you swap with for a day? So the full question is, you can swap with another reseller for a day. You will be them completely, interact with their family in every possible way and everything like that. But whilst you are being them, they're off being you.
Oh, that's a really good one. Oh, you see, it's like when you were talking about the other week, the weekend that I have the one you did with Lex and Josh. There was the question of like, who would you be, Andrea or Nick? And I was thinking about, that sort of thing. And who would I swap with? I don't know. I'd probably swap with George Ross, steal all his video ideas, take most of his stock, and then swap back.
Well, you can get George Ross's video ideas by watching Ben's channel, mind. So if that helps. Sorry, George. Sorry, that was a low blow. In fairness, I have been watching a lot of George's videos recently, and I've noticed that George rubs off on me. I've noticed that when I go to the car boot, I get a bit George.
Does he like it?
It rubs off on me. I go around the car boot, and I'm like, oh, it's only a tenner, and I'm like, who's this? Who's this woman flashing paper money around at the car boot? I don't do that. It's too much George Ross. Too much George Ross in your nighttime viewing.
I do envy his sort of minimalistness, if that makes sense. He goes to
a car boot and he comes home and he's like, I bought these 5 things.
Yeah, and doesn't have anything unlisted. It's like, how? There's always something which has got issues where you think, I'll sort that in a bit. I
think both George and Mrs. George, whose name I've temporarily forgotten. Sorry, Mrs. George. I know you're a person in your own right. It's gone. It's left me.
Gone. Yeah.
I think they are both very tidy by nature. I know that she's very clean. She's into keeping the house very clean and tidy. And her name just flashed through my brain and went again. That's really annoying. But yeah, I think they're both very tidy by nature, and I think that possibly helps as a reseller, because you're tying up your loose ends all the time and making sure you've got it all listed and whatever. If you've got that tidy mindset.
Yeah.
But
I think you're one or the
Amy.
other. You're either a hoarder or collector that's justifying their own collection, or you're super efficient minimalist style.
Yeah, I don't know what I am. I think I'm lazy. My bottom line is I'm lazy. I don't actually want to keep any of this stuff. I don't want to give it away for nothing because I know it has value. But I don't. It's not that I want to keep it all. It's just that I also want somebody else to do it. I want to do the picking, and somebody else can do all the work. Really, that'd be ideal.
Amy, is it Amy?
Amy, it is Amy. Yeah. Ashley
Yeah,
says, "What? Sorry."
I was just going to say that's the thing. I mean, I'd have quite a good business if I could just be the one buying stuff and some other muppet would list it for me.
Yeah.
And flip it and deal with.
Are you gonna rear James up in the family business?
No, definitely not.
No.
No. A long time ago, I said, I'm not. If I ever get to the point of like needing employees and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to employ like family or friends because I've done dealings with family and friends before, and it can go a bit. Yeah, sometimes. So
I think it's difficult because if you have an employee who is not emotionally connected to you, you are very much in danger of them either not working properly or ripping you off or whatever because they don't care about you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have an employee who is emotionally connected to you, then you have the danger of giving an inch and them taking a mile because they know you love them.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's really not an easy one. So Ashley wants to know what's the best tip or life hack someone has told you that you actually use.
I don't know if it applies to all cars, but as you open the car to fill it, on the inside of the door where you open, there's normally a little hook that you can put your filler cap on. Yeah.
Mind blown. Really?
Yeah. So quite a lot of cars have got a little hook where you can just put your filler cap on.
Did not know that. I don't know if I use any hacks that I don't know.
Free Royal Mail 6x4 labels was a good one that someone told me about.
If you put a pan of pasta or potatoes on to boil and you lay a wooden implement across the top of the pan, it will prevent it boiling over. That's what I use. It's not necessarily going to be completely useful in everybody's life, but it's one that I use.
Yeah.
Lisa says, what do you think of Amazon at the moment in terms of how they're treating the folks that work for them and the FBA sellers? This is just after getting all of her stock back from FBA.
Oh, but well, that's the thing. I've dwindled my stock. I'm now, bear with me, I'll tell you how many items I've got. But yeah, I've really fallen out of favour with FBA just because you don't get to. The benefit is obviously you don't ship it out, but the customer service is dealt with by somebody who probably isn't even in the UK, who hasn't got your business best of heart. They're just there to satisfy the customer.
Yeah, they're there to keep Amazon shiny.
Exactly. So they'll instantly refund and do anything to, when it could be something that is easily resolved by you just saying, oh, actually, you've plugged it in. If it's an electronic item, you plugged it in the wrong way, and this is how you do it. So you don't need to send it back. So I've really fallen out of love with it, really, because of that. Because then the item goes as defective, and then you've got to have it back, and then it's just such a real time.
Yeah.
Oh, they are storing stuff for you, so I'll still always do it. I mean, it is awful what they do, how they treat their workers. It really is, but honestly, I'm not shocked. I'm really not shocked. It doesn't make it right, but it's not surprising.
I mean, you can tell that it's not the world's best place to work at by the fact that they've made an advert trying to convince us it's the world's best place to work at. If it was that one, we wouldn't need to make an advert about it.
At my peak, I had over 6,000, and I'm now 2,827 items.
And so will you continue to send stuff in, but will you only send certain categories, or?
Yeah, only certain categories and stuff that's sort of quicker selling.
Because stuff that you feel really confident about rather than...
Yeah, this is the problem with Amazon, that they have a habit of changing... I'm not into football, so this analogy doesn't Yeah, but they're changing the rules of the game when you're halfway through. So initially they were not charging long-term storage fees on things when you've only got one of them. So I built a business based on, as long as I've just got one of them, they'll charge me a small amount of storage fees, but not these grossly massive storage fees. And then a couple of years back, all of a sudden, when I've got 6,000 items, they went, actually, we're going to charge you those fees. And then, like a month later, I had a bill for like $2,500 for storage fees out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I've got no planning for that. I'd got a financial buffer, but it would cost me money to get the items back. So,
yeah, because I remember that happening. I remember them saying that when they gated certain categories, they gated people who were already in there and said, you can't sell it anymore. You've got to pull your stock out. And furthermore, you've got to pay to have it sent back. And I remember being enraged at the time on your behalf and other people's behalf saying, I don't think that's legal.
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal.
I mean, in fairness, when they first introduced it, they did have a grace period of where you get it back for free. But the problem was that some people didn't. They charged you and then refunded you, but some people had to chase up that refund.
Yeah.
Some people just assumed that they'd been refunded, but actually they were sneaky and they hadn't refunded everybody. So it just feels so dirty. I mean, don't get me wrong, eBay are no angels, but it just feels really, sneaky. So. For all the benefits of basically you've got the power of their shipping and all their staff that you tap into, but is it worth it to be basically they blackmail you? Can blackmail you because they've got the power of all your stuff. They've got all your stuff. They've got the ability to shut down your business in an instant. I don't know.
It's scary in somebody else's hands, I think.
Yeah, I'll still use it, don't get me wrong, because like certainly about 2 years ago, at Christmas 2 years ago, and 3 years ago, last Christmas was a bit crap, but the one before, I mean, I remember driving around to Argos buying, it was the year when there was the Chewbacca mask. Do you remember that woman did that funny video when she had the Chewbacca mask with it? Then they were like the hottest selling thing in the world. And literally, like, they were selling on eBay, don't get me wrong, but I was listing the stock on Amazon as I was walking back to my car. And by the time I got back to my car, I'd sold it already. It was just mental. And the same happened with something face, the board game.
Speak Out games. Remember the Speak Out games?
That as well, yeah.
I only got 5. Now, I don't normally do RA. It's something I leave alone, but I managed to get 5 of those, and I'd sold them before I'd got them home.
Yeah.
Listed them in the car when I got out to the car park, and they'd all sold by the time I got them home.
And if you can, like the thing with the Little Britain, I mean, if you can, I mean, I couldn't on Amazon on that because I'm restricted, but like other things like that, if you can get in at that right time, the power of Amazon over eBay is unbelievable. It's insane. So I'll still always do it as long as it don't kick me off, but I certainly won't go big time on it like I did before.
Yeah.
Especially with RA as well, because you're on one-way street to VAT town at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Eliza wants to know, on a desert island, would you make me into sausages or not? So I know you've watched a couple of Master Resellers. So the standard question is, you and I are stuck on a desert island. It's a shitty desert island with just a mound of sand and one tree with no coconuts. How long before you eat me?
About half hour.
I think that's the record. Kelly was going to string me up and slice bits off of me and keep me alive. So that was nice. I think Darren was going to follow me out and use me as a raft.
I prefer my own company, to be fair. So it would just do me a favour. So.
Civic Eagle says, do you ever find yourself selling to a particular area of the country? He finds Colchester area popular.
I've never really noticed. Sometimes if an address sounds posh, I'll look it up. And stuff like that. I know the wife does that. If she sells something on eBay, she'll look, see if it's like, oh, where is it? And is it on Zoopla? And stuff like that.
I noticed the odd pattern every now and again. We were saying this yesterday with me and the ladies that, you might have a bit of a spate where you think that's about the 7th parcel I've sent to Newcastle in 2 days. What's going on there? And we were wondering if you are spotlit in certain areas at certain times, you know?
Yeah, I had a phase of that recently where I sold stuff that was like close to my house, but not close enough that it was cheaper to drop it off by hand. There were some that I did. I posted them by hand. I sold a book on Amazon, and it was only 2 miles up the road, so I just hand delivered it.
Hmm.
But yeah, sometimes, but not anything that I've noticed recently. I mean, that goes back to the whole blue door, red door theory on eBay, whether
Yeah.
you put that next to your name.
Yeah, I remember that as well, yeah.
I don't know if it's still on there, to be fair.
I haven't noticed either. Sarah says, have you ever had something that's clearly been broken, stained, worn, returned, and the buyer's saying it arrived that way rather than they've done it? I think we've all had that one. I think we've all had the zip's broken on these, but it bloody wasn't when I sent it out, you know?
Yeah, and some things have been my fault, and sometimes I absolutely cringe at some of the things I've missed, and
Oh yeah, I sold
the
this
worst is when you've sold it and you go to get it out of storage, and it's either been damaged or in storage, or you, in the fresh light of day, you've noticed that it's damaged.
I sold this jumper a few weeks ago, and the buyer returned it because it had a big stain on the front, and she was right, it did. And I must have missed it because it was a big stain. However, I treated it with several stain removers and didn't get anywhere. I've hung it out on the line for 3 weeks in the sun and the rain, and the stain's gone. There you go, the parasol. Hey. That's relisted. I wonder if the same buyer will buy it again.
Yeah, I've certainly had it where things have gone missing in the post, and I sold like some RA stuff. It was like some anti-aging cream that came from Tesco, and it went to Italy, and it came back like 4 months later. I refunded the buyer, and it never turned up. And it came back like 4 months later randomly, and I was like, "Oh bloody hell!" So I relisted it, and it sold again.
Yeah. Sue says, swap with me, you can list my Wii and I get to play with little Tom all day. And then she's realised 2 seconds later how that sounds.
Dude, you said we wouldn't talk about this.
Do you play with little Tom all day, Tom?
No, he's a nursery, so.
Okay. But some double calm was saying that George Ross's wife is called Amy. Yeah, well, I did get there in the end, but it just your brain goes nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
it was going through my head as well.
Applecore says, after the new apprentice offer from the government today, I'm looking for a new apprentice if James is interested. There you go. You can send James out to work.
Yeah, or not. Certainly not Aaron. He's well dodgy. Jesus, don't track him down. Bloody hell.
Samuel says, Carly, you've just made my day, but I don't know what I'd said at that point. Joan says, if you had to live your life as a woman, who would it be? It can be anybody, famous or not, and why?
God, that's a tough one, that one is. Probably Kate Middleton.
Have you always had a thing about wills, or is this a new thing that you've just developed recently?
No, it's not the receding hairline that does it for me, but no, just to find out some inner secrets about whether the royals are actually a race of shifting lizards.
Shifting lizards.
And yeah.
Do you think the Queen might be one of those Doctor Who creatures that unzips the? What were they?
I think so.
I can't think what they're called. Natalie. The Slitheen, Natalie's nose. Yeah. The Queen might be like that. She might go into Buckingham Palace, zip her head, and off she goes.
Just to find out some of the, the inner backstories of things, know. But yeah, she's definitely got that look of murderous intent. So.
What, the Queen?
Yeah, definitely.
The Queen has definitely reached the point where her face is like, "Don't fuck with me." Okay, just because I haven't said off with their head yet doesn't mean I won't. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's the ultimate gangster, definitely.
Lainey wants to know if you could change any 3 things to improve your life, what would you change?
Not have the inability to let go of things that have an emotional attachment. To be able to drink more than 5 pints without falling over or dancing like an absolute dickhead. Cheap date. Hashtag cheap date. What would the other one be? So just to be a more tidy, organised person, I think.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I really envy people who can. I don't like, like you see these minimalist houses where they're just white, and to me that's like, oh god, that's stressful to keep up with that level of cleanliness. But like just someone who's got, okay, they might have a slightly busy house, they've got kids, blah blah blah, but they've got it organised. They know what they're having for dinner. They've got food in the fridge. Not the type like me. It's like 4 o'clock, and oh god, I need to go and get some stuff for tea.
Yeah, I would certainly like a more organised mind, a more analytical, organised mind. But I'd also like about 72 hours in every 24-hour day.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how people fit it in. I genuinely don't know. Today I have done some work. Today I sat down at this desk at 8 o'clock, and I have been here all day with a brief blip for walking the dogs. And that's fine. I have got a lot of work done in this room, which means I've done feck all anywhere else. How do people do it all?
Yeah. Do you ever get sort of paralysed by the FOMO of the stuff that you're not doing? That happens to me. That I waste time by thinking about stuff that I could be doing, but then I'm not doing because I'm thinking about what I could.
Kelly says, if you could sell, blah, 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 can you read? Because I can't. If you could sell every single item of stock listed and unlisted as a job lot and start again, would you? And how much? So everything, your entire inventory.
For £1 million.
£1 million, just the 1 million.
Just 1 million, just to say I'm a millionaire, that'd be ace, and then just absolutely spunk it all at the car boots. Just go and buy an entire
I have days when £1,000 would take it all. I have days when if you walked in here and went, there's a grand, I'd be like, off you go then. There are other days when I'm like, no, that's silly, it's worth more than that. But there are days when I'm like, yeah, take the fucking lot. Just take it. I don't love any of it.
I would be quite... the only stuff that I wouldn't do that to is stuff like that I've collected that I've got an emotional attachment to.
That's all of your stock, Tom. We've gone back around to the beginning again.
Yeah, no, but the actual stock, just take it. As long as I haven't got to move it, take it.
There's a huge Amazon warehouse close to where she lives, and it's like a small town. Yeah, we've got an Amazon warehouse, and you can talk about see it from space. You can see it from everywhere. It's massive.
In fact, I was talking to somebody. It was one of the meetups, and he was saying that there was an Amazon warehouse near him, but he couldn't drop off there. He had to get it to UPS to deliver it to there. So he was actually looking into getting a courier's license so he could physically drop it off himself.
Shiv says, name 3 people to be your slave for the day, and what jobs would you get them to do for you?
I would... You would be one to cook food.
Okay. All right. I'm all right with cooking food for a day. That's fine. Yeah. I thought you were going to make me do eBay. I was like, don't do eBay for me. I don't want to do it for you.
Who would be my eBay bitch?
I'd have Lex. Lex for listing, because oh my god, does she list? She just boof.
Yeah. Actually, get Lex in. That's a good one actually for the jewelry to get some of that.
She's not with us tonight in the chat. I don't know where she is.
So, maybe she bought a job lot and she's knee deep in it. And then who would be the third one? Someone to amuse me. Probably. I can't think. Maybe somebody who's comical, who's in the community. Can't think of anyone.
Laney's quite funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, maybe. Oh gosh, it's just flashed through my head.
I'd have Lex for the listing. Oh, BCP, yeah, he's funny.
BCP, yeah.
I'd have Lex for the listing. Craig for the sourcing, because he seems to have the golden touch. He seems to, and an aid for the sheer,
the show.
Physical exercise. Don't think he's in tonight either. So.
Just saying that.
Maybe Lex and Aid are off somewhere together.
Lex has had the golden touch lately, so
she really has. Yeah. I mean, I joke about it being luck. I joke about, oh my god, she's everything she touched, but it's not luck. It's knowledge, because the things that she picks up and she goes, this is what I thought it was, and it turns out it is worth what I thought. And I'm like, I would have flicked past it because I would have gone tap 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 tap, know. So
see, that side of things I love research and I love building my knowledge, but I just need a listing slave to. I probably shouldn't even use the word slave because somebody will get offended, but
photos, someone to take the damn photos.
I love taking photos. Keyword of my nemesis. Well, this mug is sums it up.
Maybe we need to actually form a resellers. Is the word conglomerate or cooperative or something?
Cult.
Yeah, but where we each bring a skill to the table.
Yeah.
So Karin, for example, enjoys ironing. So if we formed a cooperative, we could actually probably sell as many as 2 items a week between us. Lainey says, if you're looking back at your life when you're in your 80s, what would you want to have done? For example, bucket list stuff or places visited.
I don't know. I've done most of it, to be fair. I don't know. I think the main one for me when I'm that age is not leave a burden, because I would, like, having dealt with order houses and stuff like that. It's such a horrible burden on the family, and I wouldn't ever, because it's something you think about that. If you pop your clothes tomorrow, you've got all this stuff that is a burden.
So we know you lost your mum a couple of years ago. Was she a collector of treasures, or?
No, she was a very brutal person who would throw stuff away. Sorry, I'm just
totally
gone. Just bear with me. I'm just going to turn the light on.
A bit dark, yeah.
There we go. No, she was very good at. The only stuff she kept lots of is she was a teacher, so she kept lots of textbooks and like stuff that she could refer back to, and it was very precious to her. And it got weird throwing it away because we knew how much it meant to her, but it didn't mean anything to anyone else. So
it was probably past its peak of usefulness.
Exactly. Some of it we donated to schools in France which teach English, so some of her English textbooks went there, which was nice.
Yeah, but we've had that with Dad's stuff. That Mum's taste was incredibly different to Dad's anyway. So when Dad died, Mum was like, "Well, I don't want to keep any of the things that he liked, particularly because I've never liked them. I've never liked these things. Dad was very much the dominant personality in the relationship, and so he had filled the house full of things he liked, whether Mum liked it or not, and so, but it still feels quite disloyal because even though we don't like these things that are his taste, they were important to him. Luckily, my brother is very much I will keep it all forever and love it. So you kind of feel that, off you go. You take it all away and love it.
The only stuff that I didn't get rid of was little sort of like handwritten notes she'd done and stuff like that. I will at some point. But yeah, she was very organised that because, she was palliative and knew that it was coming, she'd got a full plan. So, when the day came, there was an envelope, we opened it up, and there was, this person does this person does that. This is exact. She'd done the entire service with everything was sorted. There was nothing really. We just had, just had to basically do it. Yeah. So, and there was like a little letter to my dad and stuff, and it was. I mean, that is just it really helped. So, I mean that. We see if it was me, it'd be half a bag of crisps and a note saying, "Oh, I forgot to post this. Can you just pop it in the post?" I think I must have lost that organised side somewhere in the genetic woods.
Yeah, Elisa Goldman says, "If I had to live my life as a man, I'd want to be Tom Hanks. Everyone adores Tom Hanks. I like Tom Hanks. Yeah. When you read things about people who've bumped into Tom Hanks, he always seems excellent. Yeah. Sarah says, how has lockdown affected your business, both negatively and positively?
Well, yeah, I talked to a lot of people about this because obviously it's had positive effects and it's had negative effects. Like this year, I'd planned on doing a lot of antique fairs. Like I got them booked in, antique fairs, vintage fairs, stuff like that. Because I got quite a lot of that sort of stuff from when I used to have. I used to sell at antique centres. I had like different centres where I'd have cabinets and booths and stuff. So I got all that stuff. So I got all those booked in. But as soon as all this hit, that all got cancelled. So all the income from that and there's now storage to store the stuff is just bad. But then when actually lockdown was happening, I was selling books and computer games like hotcakes. It was crazy. It was bigger than every Christmas that I've ever had. So
I think jigsaws, you could not keep them on the shelves. Jigsaw, whoosh. Yeah.
Books about hobbies were just flying out.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden people are like, well, I'm going to actually learn how to knit properly now.
Yeah. Garden books. How to start a garden. Whoosh.
Yep. Self-sufficiency books I sold loads of. So that sort of stuff. So I think overall I'll probably be slightly down because I don't know what this, like from now until the next 6 months, is going to be like in terms of sales and people suddenly realising that they haven't got money. Because that's the thing. I mean, I've got friends that were stuck at home, furloughed, and because the pubs weren't closed, they weren't spending their disposable income. So they were actually miles better off. So I've got one friend, Steve, who he massively got into building like dead expensive Lego sets. He was never into that before.
He's not buying a coffee on the way to work, and he's not buying lunch while he's at work, and he's not paying for the train and whatever.
Going for a nice meal and going out with the lads, you know. So all of a sudden he's well up money wise.
Yeah.
So it did have positive effects, and I had a mad 2 weeks where it was like Christmas times 3. But then now it's
at the moment, I'm dead as a doornail. It's I can't
tumbleweeds for me.
Give the stuff away today.
July is always crap, but this is more so.
Civic Eagle wants to know if either of us ever found an item that's come back into fashion after a long period of time. For example, skateboards coming back into popularity.
Funnily enough, with lockdown, that happened to me because I used the lockdown as time to go through my piles of shame, and I was pulling out stuff which. And I found a load of Zumba stuff, Zumba sticks and Zumba stuff, which used to be big in, then fell off the face of the earth and nobody wanted it. And then all of a sudden, everyone wanted to keep fit at home. So I was selling Zumba stuff like crazy. Same with We Fit stuff. Everyone was nuts for. Nobody wanted We Fit. Nobody wanted We Fit boards. That you couldn't give them away. And then when lockdown hit, and I was selling for like 40, 50 quid on eBay. It was obscene.
And the funny thing is that you and I both know that all those people got on those We Fit 3 times at the moment. And now they're all gathering dust again. And in about 4 or 5 months' time, they'll all turn up at the car boot sales again.
Yeah. It'll
and you can buy them all again, ready for the next lockdown.
Yeah, I know. It's madness. So there's been a couple of things like that.
Yeah. Dorothy says, what's your favourite sale? Have you got a sale that stands out in your memory as the golden one?
Well, the one I always go back to, which is sort of my highest sale and my favourite sale was... Well, no, I'll do my highest sale and then I'll do my favourite sale. My highest sale was a 1920s butterscotch amber necklace. It was really long, made out of like butterscotch coloured amber. And I bought it literally off a woman's neck at the car boot for 30 quid. Was it 40? No, it was 40 because she was selling loads of jewellery and stuff. And I knew a bit about butterscotch amber because of the Scavenger Life talked about it and other people. And I saw it and I thought it was Bakelite at the time. I was like, oh, I really love your necklace. She was like, yeah, it was my mum's. I was thinking about selling it, but I'm not sure. And her husband was like, no, you should sell it. I was like, oh, I'll buy it. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I'd have to sell it for a good amount. I said, oh, how much do you want for it? She went, oh, I don't know. It'd have to be like 40 quid or something. I was like, yeah, I'll have it, yeah. And she was a bit like that, and he was like elbow in, like take it. Anyway, so I got it home, did all the tests, and it was amber. I sold it for 900 quid. Yeah, just nuts. And
There's
I
Nick.
reckon I probably could have more.
Nick for stealing old men's shoes, and there's you ripping dead mothers' necklaces off of Carburetor's neck.
I know. Yeah. I put it on auction because I thought it was Bushel Bakelite, which I would have got about 200 quid for, something like that. But I put it on auction, and it actually sold to somebody in London who's a specialist in that, and then it went on their website for, I can't remember what it went on their website. I think it was about 4 grand, 3-4 grand.
Bloody hell.
But my favourite one is, I don't know why I'm pointing aggressively, was when we were clearing my nan's house out 3 years ago. She'd got like a 1960s, 70s drinks trolley. It was like chrome, and it had like trays that you could take off. And she got it for a side light and a telephone and an address book. And as it so happened, they came back into fashion. So I was like, do you know what? I bet I can sell that. And my family were like, there's no chance. There's no way you'll sell that. And you won't even get a fiver for it. And it sold for $79.99. But it went to a bloke in London, and he was absolutely made up for. And I said that it was my grand, and she knew that, and he knew that, and that I was happy that it was going to a good home. Anyway, over the next series of weeks, every weekend he'd send me pictures of it covered in booze in their parties, and they're like posing with it, and I've got them on my hard drive somewhere. And my nan would have absolutely loved that.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
And she got it for like £1 from the charity shop she worked in or something. So that was really nice to see that. And these were the most crazy flamboyant parties it looked like. So it was lovely to think that it came from this little bungalow in Staffordshire that just had a nice little leather-bound address book and big button phone on it. And it's now in a flash apartment in London.
London gaff with all posh guests around it. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Joan wants to know to us both, what is our most used mobile app apart from social media and selling platforms?
Oh, I'll have to have a look. Apart from, I suppose YouTube is social media, isn't it? Google Maps for me, I think.
Mine is probably Keep Notes. I think it's just called Keep when you go to search for it, but it's this little yellow one here with the light bulb, and it's very, very useful for keeping notes. I know that this app has stuff in it that I don't even know how to use, but it's probably the one I use most, apart from selling platforms and the NatWest Bank app, where I constantly go to see if I've got any money.
Yeah, weather app or Google Maps for me. Although Google Maps, they've updated it and it's awful, so I'm not using it.
Have they?
Well,
so maybe it doesn't know where anywhere it is. It's because we're not allowed out.
No, what it is they've changed it because I'd obviously use it like a sat nav. So it's like uses up the so say that's the thing. It uses up just like that much from you, and it's got all the information over here about like where you're going, and you're like, can you just move it over a bit and be in the middle? It's like off to the side. It's dead weird. Yeah, I'm just too tight to buy a sat nav.
And Lisa says, a co-op of resellers, what would the logo be?
The Ashes box set.
Definitely. And on that note, I think we've pretty much we've done over the hour.
Oh gosh.
There are 109 people out there, so I hope all 109 of you have enjoyed this. Remember to stick a thumb up me if you've had a good time. That gets worse every week. It evolves into a worse thing every time I say it. If you are not subscribed to Tom's channel, it does say Master Reseller. Obviously, he is Tom the English Picker. Go and find his channel. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, but I'm sure you all are because you knew who he was before he'd even got himself on screen properly. So I don't think I'd be sending you anyone you didn't already have, Tom. But this has been really good fun. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Yeah, I've been meaning to come on for a while, but with childcare stuff, it's
I did ask Tom if he was able to come on a while ago, and I think you were having a Zoom call with somebody that particular night. You had some kind of family Zoom plans.
Yeah.
So,
we're trying to do like a family quiz night. but people get, like, oh, I can't do it this week, and organising stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So, oh dear. If somebody could just deal with that young man, that would be great. Lisa has just super chatted a super sticker. I never quite understand the stickers. I don't know if there should have been a message attached, but thank you so much for the £2 super chat, Lisa, and thank you also for the £5 one earlier on. And my brain has gone fart. Who was it earlier? It was Caroline Byrne in Ireland. It was that's why it came up in euros. Thank you, brain, for that. I can't mod anyone up from here, but I will do in future. I'll go across and do it later, Kelly, so that you're modded for next time. So we will say goodbye to the chat. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tom, for being with me. And chat, I'll see you all next week. Bye. This is why awkward wave.